Xi Jinping's plan to invade Taiwan includes a chilling warning about attacking the United States, a foreign policy expert has said. The Chinese president, who recently returned from a visit to San Francisco, is expected to have the ability to annex the island nation by 2027. However, foreign policy hawk Gordon Chang has suggested that an attempt to subjugate Taipei would result in an all-out global conflict. He told GB News, "It will probably be an all-out war involving many different countries. It seems that the Chinese doctrine, on the first day of war with Taiwan, will target Japan and the United States for several reasons. Therefore, we may have no choice. You know, we always say, well, we'll defend Taiwan. I don't know if we will have the ability to make a decision because we could very well be attacked in the early moments of a war." Chang also argued that other adversary nations, including Russia and North Korea, could attempt to launch synchronous attacks. The foreign policy expert hinted to Pyongyang that it would attack parts of South Korea and Japan. Moscow, still recovering from the current invasion of Ukraine, may attempt to conquer some of the islands north of Tokyo. Despite focusing heavily on Beijing's plan to invade Taiwan, Chang argued that the People's Liberation Army High Command disagrees with President Xi. Xi Jinping tested his personal legitimacy by annexing Taiwan, but the Chinese military doesn't seem to care much, he explained. That's why Xi Jinping recently fired many general officers. I think the military understands that Taiwan is too difficult to target, but we are seeing some very dangerous Chinese activity in the South China Sea. Chang also warned that China could target the Philippines in a move that could also drag the United States into conflict in East Asia over its obligations under the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. The 72-year-old, who warned that the chances of conflict were high, and stressed that war seems to be upon us, concluded. Henry Kissinger has implied that something has to change to avoid that war. But unfortunately, we don't see the change needed to deter China. Instead, he highlighted how China's military buildup, response to sanctions, stockpiling efforts, study of U.S. nuclear weapons, purge of dissident officials and mobilization of civilians have demonstrated that Beijing is preparing for the conflict. Xi's much-discussed visit to San Francisco appears to be producing mixed results for Sino-U.S. relations. President Joe Biden stressed, "I think these are some of the most constructive and productive discussions we've had." However, the two have little in common when it comes to climate change, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken showed his desperation when Biden called his Chinese counterpart a dictator. Despite some moments of irritation, Xi and Biden hope to put aside confrontation and emphasize cooperation. Beijing and Washington have agreed to work together to combat fentanyl trafficking and have hinted that pandas could become envoys of friendship. But Biden is committed to defending Taiwan from any attack. Last September, the 46th president declared, "Yes, indeed there was an unprecedented attack." Beijing's foreign ministry spokesman Mao Ning responded, "The U.S. comments severely violate the U.S.'s important commitment not to support Taiwan's independence, and sends a gravely wrong signal to the force's separatists, Taiwanese independence activists." Mao added, "We are willing to make the greatest sincere efforts to strive for the prospect of peaceful reunification. At the same time, we will never tolerate any activity aimed at dividing the country, and we reserve the right to take all necessary measures." Taipei expressed its sincere gratitude to Biden for affirming the United States government's strong security promise to Taiwan. Taiwan pledged to resist authoritarian expansion and aggression and to deepen close security cooperation with Washington. Tensions between Washington and Beijing reached a pre-disagreement peak when then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taipei in August.
For more news like this across the globe, please subscribe to our channel, like and share this video. Thank you.